What is in a name? Africa answers to this question, and Africa's answer is everything. In a world where even the act of speaking is infused with power, both names, whether protective or emboldening, proverbial or predictive, exalted or even seemingly indelicate, are of the highest traditional significance. So also are the ceremonies that surround them. Welcome to the summer, the African summer, where we connect you to Africa and African culture. Today we are discussing child naming ceremony in Africa, with particular reference to Ndoni Kingdom in the Niger Delta area of Nigeria. If you're enjoying our show, please subscribe and click on the notification bell, like and share our videos. Today we are discussing this topic yet again with an amazing daughter of Ndoni. Welcome with me, Mweze Ifunamba Ogo Ebu. You're welcome, man.
Thank you so much, Dr. MQT. It's my pleasure to be on this platform once again. Thank you so much.
Names are very pertinent in the African culture. Names identify and express who you are, how you are identified, how you are related to. Names speak volume, and especially in the Ndoni Kingdom. Please, can you let us know what is in the name? Why is naming a child so important? And what are the significance of this child naming ceremony?
Thank you so much. What is so important in naming of a child? You know, the arrival of a child brings in joy, happiness, jubilation to both families. And as it brings such joy, so also does the naming also add more glamour to the families. In Africa, the way we name a child matters in a way that circumstances in which that child was born account for the kind of name you give to the child.
Okay.
You don't just name a child because you want to name a child. You name a child according to the family history, according to the circumstances of the birth, according to the time and season that that child was born, according to some things that happens around the birth, the environment. You know, those are what we put into consideration when we are naming a child in Africa.
Okay. That's interesting. If children are named at birth, so at what time does this naming take place? And how is this naming done?
Yeah, to name a newborn child is after 7 days of delivery. That's when you name a child, and it's usually done in the morning, around to 6 o'clock. Wow. As the day is breaking, because the arrival of a child announces the arrival of a new dawn, a new era, a new generation. So they do it in the morning so that as the day is breaking, the child's greatness, goodness, everything that is good about that child will also come afresh with the child. So that is why it's done early in the morning before people go to farm or go to the fishing. They first of all come to where they are doing naming ceremony So they drink, they eat, they chop the cola, and as they're happy going, so they're also praying for the child as they're going about their businesses for the day. So it's done in the morning, after which celebration can continue, but the actual naming is done early in the morning. And there are items that are used during the name, you have a honey, palm oil, cola nuts, dry fish, salt, water, alligator pepper, ogilish leaf, all these things to be kept before a child is being named. Yes.
So, what are the symbolic importance of these items? I mean, the honey, the alligator pepper, the ogirishi leaf, the salt, the oil, and all that. Why are they bringing those items for naming the child?
All those things has what it represents.
Okay.
And everything it represents is greatness, goodness, well-being, So when all these things have been presented, they bring out this child early in the morning. So as the child receives the first air, so they will now hold the child and stand, you can imagine a child of 7 days, they will hold the child and say, Zobu Abagana, Zobu Abagana. It's like marking the soil. You have come to stay. You have come to stay. The leg in which you have touched this soil will be good. We bring good luck to you. We bring goodness to you. So after then all these items, they will be taking them one by one. The oldest man that will hold this child, that we name this the lip of the child. As the honey denotes that the child's life will be as sweet as honey. He will not have any hindrance on the journey of his life. The palm oil also, palm oil denotes life, fruitfulness, everything you can think of goodness goes with palm tree. So that is what that palm oil denotes in the life of the child. The ogilish leaf stands for greatness and protection, to avoid any evil thing to happen to that child. That is what the ogilish leaf said. Then the alligator pepper, they will bite it, it's very pepperish. The oldest one will bite it and put it in the mouth of that child. The child will cry. That means the child will not be dumb. The child will be outspoken in life. The child will be head for good all the days of his life. The salt, you cannot do any cooking or any good thing without salt. The child will be salt of the earth. He will be head for good also. Anywhere he appears, he'll be recognized, he'll be noted for good. Things that limited his parents in life will not limit him, because every parent prays that their children is better than them, greater than them. So that is what all these things denotes, because each of them has the meaning. Then the kola nut, he who brings kola brings life. The family bringing a new child, they have brought life to the world, and this life will be fruitful, will be good, will not have any evil on the journey of his life. And the fish, the child will be fruitful. The water has no enemy. The child will not have enemy in the journey of his life. And water is life. Water is life. So those are the things. So those are the things. Then they now go to the names. In Ndoni Kingdom, we have names like Opena, Oputa, Ajie, Ngwedo, Odauzo, Osai, Ogweji, Okubili, Izadi. You see, these are beautiful, sweet names, but they are fading away because of Christianity. This time around, we are just giving Chukwudi, Chukwuma, putting God in everything we are doing. But those really traditional names are fading away, which hardly you see people have children now and give them a Opena or Osai. The Osai means a god, Osai. There is something they call Geno Osai. DJ was standing me from, that Osai is where they have all this pot that is boiling without fire. I don't know if you have seen
it. Those are the mysteries of Africa. Oh my God.
but that's also, but the names are all fading away. But we pray that the younger generation and those that preserve our archives, we try to let them know that these names are very symbolic in our lives. Yes.
Yes, but I think that the advent of Christianity to a large extent has influenced the change in the kind of names that we bear. Like you just said, most of those names also were names that were associated with the African culture, and which to a large extent, is said to be fetish. We talk about Onosai, is those huts where they keep idols, where they go to make sacrifices and all that. And today, people who have aligned themselves to Christianity will not want to answer such names, irrespective of the beauty of those names. All right. But that being said, even in calling names related to God today, those names too are still beautiful. I mean,
Yes.
you can tell us some of the names that they bear
The
today that
Onosai means they are God.
what it used to be.
That is the God they believe then. So it's still not a bad. It's just like when we say Chuku, Olisa. So your side is also like God to them in those days, because when they go there, they talk to your side. It does something for them, and they get an answer. So it's their own God. So it's still not a bad one. We still want those names to still remain. But these days, like what you said, because of Christianity, when we have children now, because of the circumstances of the child, maybe you have been looking for a child for a long time, you didn't get. Then when you become pregnant and you have this baby, you say the Mbana Olisa, Olisa Mbana. Thank you, God. You understand? Olisa stands for God in Ndoni, So you are thanking God for giving you this child, for remembering you, for hearing your cry. Then another name is sometime you are going to the market on a market day, you have this child. They say Zafia. This child will be a great entrepreneur. It will be a great businessman or businesswoman, because he or she was born on a market day, or the mother was going for a business trip and had the baby. You see, those matters. And so they said, Uzo Ashaka, Ania Ani-Ndoni, Ania Ashaka, Ania Abo. Maybe the child, they were having meeting in that community and the child came, or they were going to that community, the child came, or the father got to that community and became wealthy or became known. So when he has this child, he said, Ani Abo, Ani-Ndoni, Menemjini Nwego. That kind of a thing. So as he gives that name to the child, as he calls that child, be remembering that circumstances. You understand? So that is why every name we give a child matters, because the name follows you through your journey of life. That is why it's also advisable not to give any name that will not give praises to God or not bring good wishes to the life of the child, or even people that say it. You don't just have a child and say, this child is idiot, or the head is like a crocodile. That kind of a thing. Like giving your child's name, look at the hair like crocodile. No. That child will grow like crocodile. So that is why you should give the child that you are beautiful. Dama, this is my first daughter, very beautiful. Adolisa, God said daughter. That kind of a thing. So you give the name that even as you yourself is pronouncing it, you are praising God who gave you that gift, because children are gift from God.
Exactly.
Children are gift from God, and that is why any name you give to these children will bring praises to God and to people around and people who calls them. Or say Luka, like you give a child or say Luka. Everybody tried, everybody brought suggestion, everybody brought idea before this child was born. See the name or say Luka. Then in another way, that Ose can also mean God in another culture. In the Delta Igbo, Ose means God, which means everybody looked unto God for the arrival of this child. So name in African tradition is so important, so symbolic. Like, for example, my name is Ogo Chuku. My mom said, like, after 9 to 10 years, she has stopped having children. I came. So
Wow.
when I came, it was like, the nurse said, it's gift from God. Just like your name,
Mm,
Amechi, nobody knows
mm,
tomorrow. You see?
yes.
So, which is true. Nobody can dictate what tomorrow will be.
Mm-mm.
Nobody except God.
Yeah.
So that, there is power in names, and that
Yeah.
names. So each day, like your name now, you just wake up, say, God, it's only who knows tomorrow. May my tomorrow be good. You have
Mm,
made good prayer.
exactly.
And as you have asked it, so it will be. So we
Amen.
always want to give names to our children that will be Ngozi Chukuka. Blessing of God is greater than any other blessing you can think of. So we should try. African culture has really good names that praises God and brings goodness and mercy to them. And as that child grows with that name, it helps the child in his journey of life, because there is power in the tongue. And as you call that name, if it's a blessing you're giving to that child, you follow the child. And if you now give, like Jabez in the Bible, you know what happened? The mother had him in sorrow and gave him Jabez.
Mm.
Which along the line, the guy was going through troubles and troubles. He discovered the name and he said, no, why will I bear this name? But you can imagine a woman giving a child name because she has gone through pain. Is it the child that made you to go through pain and you not give that
Nah,
boy that
pain.
name? So there is power in the name, and people was having issue. So there is power in name. So when we want to name our children, we should be careful. And I want to tell that in Ndoni Kingdom, every name they give their children is very symbolic and very powerful, like Ububili. Ububili means like a crown you get on the palm tree. That crown on the palm tree, and it's very beautiful. It just stands straight, very beautiful and pretty. So usually they give it to girls that are beautiful. When they born, you are they say, oh, this is a pretty girl. They give you Ubili. Adezi, first daughter of the royal home, the king, that kind of a thing. So those names matters.
Amazing to know, because it showcases the fact that names in Africa is not just about beckoning on someone, but it comes with a lot of symbolism. It comes with
Yes.
a lot of meaning. It comes with a lot of history. It comes with a lot of heritage. And that
Exactly.
is so, so beautiful. It's amazing to know. Now, if I will ask, in holding this naming ceremony, where does this ceremony hold? I mean, when they are naming this child, where do they hold these ceremonies? Is it in the market square or in the family compound or where?
They hold it in the family compound where they call Obi. There is this place they build. Every night people come there to sit and tell tales by moonlight. So
Mm,
that is where they sit and do it outside the
wow.
main house. They
Mm,
sit outside. Where a family that doesn't have Obi, you just come outside in front of the door, in front of the house, and do it, because it's supposed to be done in the open.
okay.
It's supposed to be done in the open, letting the child breathe the first air, the fresh air, and the juice and everything. Everything should be fresh because new life has come. It's going to start a new life, walking into this future and things like that. So it's done in the open, not inside the room, not in the market square, but maybe where they have the resting place outside the home. They do it there, or they just come in front of the house, put chairs, and everybody that's around sit and wait. And they
Wow.
marry, they eat, and they drink.
That's nice. I also hear that there's this part of the naming ceremony that has to do with dipping the baby in water. Can
Yes,
you please tell our viewers how that is done?
when you dip the child in the water, it wants to that even that child starts swimming in future, because water will go into the nursery and come out, and it will not choke him. So when he happens to fall in water as he's growing up, water will not choke him, he will not die. He will swim out. That is what it is. They throw the child in the water and bring out the child. Throw the water in the child and bring out the child. The another one again, they will just throw the child from one side of the house to the other side of the house. And the person will run. That same person that threw it will still be the one to run and still go and catch the child. the child will not get to the ground until the person comes and catch the child.
Wow. Wow.
But these days you can't do that because of the skyscrapers and upstairs. But those days, those are our thatch houses, the small houses, you cannot do it. But it also has meaning, which means that that child can go through any obstacle in life. It will not have effect on you. Yes, and survive. That is it. So you can imagine a tender 7 days, they throw you from one side and go the other side and catch you. And you are still firm, nothing is wrong with you. You didn't die, you will not die, you will not fall to the ground. So you also start that you are going to be firm. And also the names you bear tells the story where you are coming from. Once you call any name in African tradition, everybody know where the person is coming from. Like when I say Kweku, I know it's from Ghana.
Yeah.
When I said Olushegu, I know it's from western part of Nigeria. When I said Chinelo, I know it's from the eastern part of Nigeria. When I say Musa, I know it's from the northern part of Nigeria. When I say Boma, I know it's from the south of Nigeria. So all our names denote, once you call your native name, anybody there, we know where this person is coming. And also do our dressing. Like the way you appear today, I know you are from the south, the Niger Delta of Nigeria.
Exactly.
That is because like I went for an event someday, when I got there, it was on English wear, but I was wearing my tradition. So those who are from that region walk to me, are you from south? I didn't introduce myself, I didn't even call my name, but the dressing I wore sold me out. And I said yes.
Wow.
So those are the identities. Our dressing, our names tell us, even before we say where we are coming from.
Wow, this is amazing. Obviously, the power in the name. And that is why it is very imperative that we bear names that showcase who we are, that propel us for greatness, not just to bear names that does not have meaning.
Yeah.
Viewers, Africa is amazing. Everything in Africa is spectacular. Even in names, it is amazing to note that children from 7th day of birth, traditionally, ceremoniously, are named significantly for their future. And they say that the name that a child bears determines how far that child will go. Thank you so much. Who is the phone number? It's amazing. It's been wonderful having you share this wealth of experience and knowledge about how children are named and what names signify and symbolize in Africa. Thank you. We hope that our viewers will have a wonderful time. Listening to you. And for those who are in diaspora, who are losing touch with the African culture, please tune in to the Summon, the African Summon, for updates of more interesting and intriguing topics about Africa. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.